Hey, good morning, campers. It's Andy here with a Monday Magic. I hope you're going well. I'm out and about this morning, so we are filming on location. I guess that's what they say. Gang, how are you getting on? How are things moving along? The market is certainly maintaining its momentum, which is good. I want to know, though, how you lots are all getting on out of 10. First and foremost, hearing a lot of people that are saying they've had record sales months, like amazing sales months, struggling to back it up with stock though. So that going to be a challenge as we head to the turn of the year. Lack of stock, and unfortunately this early momentum starting to wane a touch. Let us know what your scores on the doors are in the comment section below, and if you've got any questions about anything macro or micro from a real estate point of view, please send me an SMS 0451 085 998. Now, around the grounds, I'm just going to quickly walk you through a few of the auction results from around the states. And look, really good news in the respect that we've got Victoria sitting at 78%, New South Wales at 83%, Queensland 64, South Australia 82, Western Australia 83%. They've done a lot better this time. ACT for them, an okay 82%, but that just says a hell of a lot about them more than anything else. That's not the best result in the world for them. They've done a lot better recently. In terms of private sale volumes, they are starting to drop across the board now. They are starting to drop across the board, which is an interesting one. So I think there's definitely a greater degree of apprehension from vendors to hit the market. And this sort of takes us into what I wanted to mention about remembering our fundamentals, our key fundamentals. The weekend was great in terms of action, but the one thing that I certainly recognized in the field and from a lot of people, a lot of people's feedback, is that vendors are all of a sudden, they are seeing a lot of this positive media, which is great, but they're not paying attention to what has gone on. And as a result, are starting to really start to inflate their figures. They're looking for really anything that's going to give them a real serious positive, right? And we can understand that. We can totally understand that. We've got to make sure that we remember our key fundamentals around vendor collaboration and buyer management and buyer collaboration as well. Then there needs to be a much greater sense of working with these sections of our game. So with the vendors, from a collaboration point of view, working with them to achieve their greater goal. And I know this sounds really, really obvious, right? But I'm just seeing and hearing way too many examples where there's been opportunities lost by vendors thinking that they can really sort of go for the jugular when we're still in a very, very sensitive marketplace. The other thing that to bear in mind with that is that now I'm hearing of plenty of vendors that are looking to maybe hold off a little bit to let the market improve and then maybe coming onto the market early next year. Now, again, understandable, right? When you're seeing a number of the data, a number of the statistics, all suggesting that the recession side of things is not likely to happen. But, and it's a big, big but, we're starting to forget. We've got a very short memory, right? Because it's very easy to forget that things like JobKeeper is going to end in March. There will be a much greater flood of stock come onto the market at the turn of the year as opposed to what's going on now. So we need to make sure that our vendors are still very much aware of all of that. So if you don't keep vendors pragmatic, to remain pragmatic about everything that's going on, they will get away with themselves. And a lot of agents are falling into that trap. It always happens. As soon as a market turns, agents think that they can just, walk onto an auction site and get a sale. It doesn't work like that, gang. Because the other thing to bear in mind is that buyers are still very, very sensitive. They don't need much of an excuse to not crack on with a result, with a property. They just don't. They've had so much negative energy, so much negativity in their lives. The last thing that they want is to make their lives any more complicated by taking on a sale that is giving them a little bit of doubt. You've got to get buyers on board beyond reasonable doubt. And that's fundamental stuff, gang. That's reinforcing the positives to them. That is making sure that they can see themselves and their futures with this property in their lives. You've got to keep hold of your fundamentals, gang, because if you don't, you will start missing opportunity after opportunity after opportunity on the listing side and on the sales side. It's great that we're seeing lots and lots of really positive action, some incredible. I mean, look, Joe, 20 out of 10, incredible month in November and December will be a winner too. Wonderful. There is opportunity. There is such a short window of certainty and opportunity. I completely concur with what Joe's saying there. We have got to be very, very aware that this could be short-lived. As soon as that JobKeeper ends, the market's going to get tested severely. So you got to bear that in mind, gang. All right? Got to bear that in mind. So amazing results. Keep things going, but bear in mind that you have to be collaborating with your vendors, not just on auction week when all of a sudden you realize you've got no interest. Every single week. Meetings every single week. You can Zoom them now. You can just phone. It doesn't matter. You've got to be catching up with your vendors every single week and discussing the different landscapes that's coming through after every weekend. Okay. Understanding the results that are happening or not happening around you is really critical as well, because buyers will think that the market's getting away from them. They'll go to some auctions the weekend before and be like, hold on, the market's not that bad, because they might have gone to the odd one or two that's in your area that didn't sell, and they will change their mind just like that. So you've got to get on top of it, gang, for both vendors and buyers' sakes. All right, it's a short and sharp one because, like I said, I'm out on the road today. Make sure you enjoy your week. Stay strong, stay powerful. Make sure that you're getting your fundamentals right. Vendor meetings, critical. Making sure that buyers have got proof beyond any reasonable doubt that this property is for them. You have to. You must do. Because otherwise you're going to miss out. Gang, rock and roll this week. Have yourself an awesome one. December is upon us tomorrow. So we haven't got long left to 2020. Let's make sure that we tie a bow on this rather iffy present of a year in a really, really good way. You've got 1 month to make the most out of what has been a really shaky year. So make it count. All right, gang. Love you and leave you. Tune in tonight on Property TV. I've got Sass Ballet from JLL giving us some really good macroeconomic information about trade agreements, about e-commerce. Lots of really interesting stuff that will affect and percolate down to every single element of our lives. Tune in on Property TV tonight at 7 o'clock. But if I don't see you before, I'll see you on Thursday night for a little bit of Ask Andy Q&A. Take care.